I'm an addict for sneakers.
Sneaker Addicts, what's good? It's your boy DJ Delz. We over at Retro Kings, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We got the Melo 9s. Seen them in person for the first time, and I gotta say, I'm pretty damn impressed. They are very nice. In the photos, really remind me of the Bin 9s, which I do have. They're fire. You want to see a detailed review, I will put a pop-up somewhere on the screen. But we focused on these right here. I absolutely like them. I think they're very, very dope. Let's get up close. The upper, really nice, man. I love the design here, but look at that metallic, man, on the midsole. That thing is just slamming. Up top, you got your white leather. Let's feel it. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. It's not shitty. I will say that. You got your hits of gold up top. You got your pull strap. You got your globe. You got your number 15. There's a look at the outsole. It's got that like milky. I know a lot of y'all like to call it the damn milky. You got that on the outsole with your Jumpman right there. Bird's eye view on the toe. Leather looks nice, but it's just it's not very soft. Rope laces with your Jordan branding up top. And there we go with a close-up HD look. Let me know what you think of these, hot or not. Leave that in the comment box below. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and make sure to join the Patreon, patreon.com/DJ Delz. Shout out to all the Patreon members. Much love. We do a monthly giveaway, so get your ass over there ASAP like Rocky. And I hope they come to life. I really do, because the thing is, I love sneakers so much that I want to create what I know I would like, because I think a lot of people also would like it. So that's my whole thing. Let's get to some more Q&A next. We got from Incognito. He writes, I know you've had roles in movies and shows. Which movie or show do you think you enjoyed being involved with the most? Let's see. There were so many that I worked on. I mean, so many. I would say the first one was really a thrill. It was this movie called Changing Lanes, and Samuel Jackson and, damn, what the hell is his name? Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Affleck was in the movie. I was in this one scene in this elevator in the beginning in the courthouse, and I was also working on another scene, but you don't see me. I'm just an extra walking in the rain on that part, where they had like these big sprinklers that were like enormous that spinned around over Ben Affleck in his car, and I would just walk past the car, just swipe the car. That's what they call it on film, like with shooting movies. You'd swipe the camera, walk past the camera and swipe. During the takes, I would just sit in the car with Ben Affleck. He would smoke cigarettes. I think he was smoking Camels, and he had a Boston accent. It was so strange because I didn't know he had a Boston accent. I wasn't that big of a fan of him where I knew exactly like everything about him, where he's from and whatnot. But yeah, he had a Boston accent, and I was talking to him. He was super cool, but I was such a huge fan of Samuel L. Jackson, so it was really cool to be in that movie. And once in a while I'll get people that tweet me and they'll be like, dude, did I just see you in Changing Lanes? I'm like, yeah, I was in there. I mean, it was fun back in the days. I really love that I was on the Chappelle Show, because it's such an iconic classic comedy, and just being in there where you can actually even hear my voice as an interviewer, and I'm asking Dave Chappelle, who's dressed as Yoda. I'm like at a press conference in a suit. I had hair at the time. If you have never seen it before, just look for the Star Wars episode on the first season, and you'll see me. I'm wearing a suit. I'm pretty sure it's a blue shirt I'm wearing, and I'm sitting next to a girl reporter on the front row, or the second to front row, and you see us interview him as Yoda, him as Samuel L. Jackson, and it's just, you know, it will always be classic. You know, I wasn't like in the scene where I got credit for it, but I was a reporter in it, where people that know me, they'll always be able to see that, and it's fun. You know, I wasn't a star in the scene or anything, but you hear me as a press guy, and it was really cool. So that was one of the cool ones. Another one was anger management. which was interesting because it was at the old Yankee Stadium. Anger Management was with Jack Nicholson, Marissa Tomei, and Adam Sandler. And in the scene in Yankee Stadium, Adam Sandler is going to propose to Marissa Tomei. They picked about, I think it was like 15 of us to be around Rudy Giuliani for this one scene. And it was a 3-day shoot because they had to get all the different angles. You got to keep in mind, when they're shooting, they got to shoot different angles. They got to shoot one principal actor, then the other principal actor. They got to turn the camera around. Then they got to get a wide shot of both of the characters. And they got to get a real wide shot. There's so many different shots. So, you don't realize how much of a process it is to shoot one measly scene until you actually get on set. It's a 12 to 16 hour day. It's a long, long day. But we were over in Yankee Stadium, and I had one of my friends with me that was also booked for the movie, and we had a blast, man. We brought in like a little bottle of Hennessy every time, and we get real nice. It was such a fun time. It was just a really, really good time. A lot of people were walking in just to check it out. I remember hanging out with Chuck Zito. I remember talking to Jack Nicholson. He gave me a Yankees hat. It was pretty cool. One of my friends, shout out to Kevin, he actually works a lot with directors, and what his job is he has these playback screens, so whenever the director wants to get a playback and watch what they just shot, he plays it. During the takes, during the breaks, he'd be like, come over here. I met like Marissa Tomei. She was such a sweetheart. Beautiful woman. I mean, she's older now, but still beautiful, man. I met Woody Harrelson outside of Yankee Stadium because he was also in the scene. And it was funny because he asked me for a pen because this girl was trying to get his number. I'm pretty sure he was trying to get her number. And he was like, excuse me, you have a pen? And I was like, let me check. I didn't even think of looking at his face. I was just trying to be nice. And then I realized, oh shit, it's Woody Harrelson. So it was cool. I met Woody Harrelson. I didn't meet Adam Sandler, who I'm a big fan of. I don't like his newer movies, but his older movies are classics. Happy Gilmore and what else we got? Waterboy. All those older movies I loved, He had a nice run, I would say. And Anger Management was a good movie. I think Anger Management is worth checking out if you haven't watched it yet. And you could actually see me in that scene, too, at the end of Anger Management. I'm wearing a Yankees jersey. You won't miss me. You definitely won't miss me if you watch the movie. I'm at the last scene where they're at Yankee Stadium, and I do have hair in the movie. I still can grow hair, by the way. I just shaved my head because I just like being a baldy. I like being Team Baldy. But, those were some of them. I mean, there were so many that I worked on. I worked on Law & Order. There was great times working on Law & Order. The regular Law & Order, the SVU was cool, too. I remember once I was working on Law & Order SVU, and I worked on it so many times that I became cool with Ice-T. And I remember when Ice-T one day, we were in holding, and holding is basically where everyone just hangs out till they're ready to shoot. And they have like catering and stuff like that. They feed you pretty damn good, especially if you're in a union, which I ended up getting into later on. I ended up becoming a member of SAG, and that was because I got featured in a few things. But I remember Ice-T introducing me to his new girlfriend, Coco. Yes, Coco, who we ended up marrying. They got kids, Coco. This is my girlfriend, Coco. And we were hanging out. And then later on, he played me some new hip-hop music he had. The only reason why I say new hip-hop music is because he also has the Body Count group where he has like a metal band and whatnot. But he was playing me a bunch of music with him, and I think it was Trigger the Gambler and a bunch of other stuff that he had going on. And this was, a good 10 years ago. It was fun, man. It was cool because I was a little kid, man, listening to, OG, original gangster, like all that shit, man. The colors. And it's crazy, like when you meet these people that you listen to as a kid and now you're like getting paid working where they are, working with them. It's really freaking cool. I worked on so many episodes of Law & Order. I get a lot of people, like, at least once a month that hits me up. They're like, Delz, were you on Law & Order just now? I'm like, probably. Because I've worked on probably like 30 episodes of Law & Order. I used to always go and work there because it was only like a 15-minute away drive to work. and meet cool people, and it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun, especially the girls. There was so many banging girls, man, like inspiring actresses that were extras, and you know, it was a great place to meet girls, like for real back in the days. I'm trying to think what else. I met Uma Thurman on a movie once, and it was at this like party. It was like a party in Brooklyn. The scene was, I forgot what the movie was, and it was crazy because Stretch Armstrong, who DJ'd for this classic radio show in New York called 89 Tech 9, it was a classic radio show where back in the days they broke a lot of rappers. Like Jay-Z would go there before he had a deal in freestyle, and like Biggie Smalls, and it was like a cult classic. It would come on like at 1 in the morning to like 4 in the morning on Thursday nights. And I remember being so tired on Fridays and just trying to stay up to listen to it. But I would record it at the same time, so I'd listen to it the next day, whatever I missed and everything. Because they would play like mad exclusives. Like he would get all the exclusives because he helped break so many artists, Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito. And it was really, really cool to meet him because he was the DJ in that scene. So that was really dope. I met Al Pacino on this independent movie. Al Pacino and Kim Basinger. They had like an independent movie, and I was their waiter. It was pretty funny, and it's an indie movie. I gotta search for it. I'm sure I can find it online somewhere. I wasn't a waiter. I was a busboy. Excuse me. But I remember Al Pacino, man. When I seen him, I was thinking to myself, and this was a long time ago, so I can only imagine now. And it's no disrespect to Al Pacino because I love him. I mean, he's such a great actor, but I remember looking at Al Pacino and just thinking, damn, man, he looks so old. Like, it's crazy how old Al Pacino looks. And then I remember looking at Kim Basinger, and I was looking at her, and I was like, damn, this may be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And I never had a thing for Kim Basinger. You know, like, you got a thing for certain actresses, like, oh, she makes the list, you know, Jericho style, she's fire. But when I seen her in person, I was like, yo, this is one of the baddest chicks on the planet in person. Because sometimes you see people in person, they look better. Some people you see in person, they don't look as good. And that was the case for Al Pacino. Like, I wasn't checking him out, but he just looked really old. And it was really amazing seeing Al. And he tripped in one part of the scene and fell. And I laughed. I did laugh. I'm sorry. I mean, call me what you want. Call me crazy, call me an ass, but I giggled a little. And everyone turned to me, man. It was crazy. I couldn't help myself. The shit was funny, man, when he tripped, man. He tripped on one of the wires. He didn't hurt himself. If he, like, hurt himself where he, like, had to go in the ambulance, it would have been a different story, but shit was funny, man. Fuck it. The shit was fucking funny, man. You see Al Pacino trip on a fucking wire, you know, you can't believe you're even around him, and then you see him fucking trip on a wire. It's funny, man. To me, it is. Whatever. Don't judge me. And the coolest, hands down, was I worked on this movie, Analyzed That, and the scene was in Rikers Island, and Robert De Niro, I got to spend 2 days with in Rikers Island in this scene. I'm so mad I wasn't in the scene that they cut from the movie, and it wasn't on the Blu-ray too. But I was with Al Pacino for 2 fucking days, man. I got multiple pictures with him. Thank God I took pictures with him because I thought I would be in the movie, but I wasn't. And it was such an amazing time, man. And, you know, when I met Al Pacino, I called him Mr. Pacino, and he's like, don't call me Mr. Pacino. I said, I'm sorry, Robert. And then he goes, don't call me Robert. My friends call me Bobby. And I was like, oh, shit, am I dreaming? Like, someone pitch me, you know, pitch my arm. This is crazy right here. This dude is telling me to call him Bobby? Are you fucking serious right now? It was amazing. Like, I got so many different stories. I mean, I could go on and do a whole podcast on them, but, you know, cool times, man. Real cool times. The Chappelle Show was definitely a trip because when I worked on the Chappelle Show, I was just such a fan of Half Baked, and I didn't know that show was going to be as big as it was. No one did. They were just beginning to shoot. I think it was the 7th episode that they filmed, you know, and they were still filming. Like, it was so fresh and new, and it's such a big show. It's like classic. It's a fucking classic. So it's pretty damn cool, man. Definitely pretty damn cool. And damn, my page round went down. Okay, here we go. And the last question is, it's 420. As I asked this, so what is the best stoner movie? Hands down, Half-Baked. Half-Baked is the best stoner movie. I wish they did a Half-Baked too. I mean, I doubt they could do it anymore. They're so much older now, but Half-Baked is just a classic, man. And also the Cheech and Chong movies are. I mean, I love the Cheech and Chong movies. As a kid, I loved watching them. So those are two. Let me know yours. Leave that in the comment box, everyone. What's your favorite stoner movies? There's a lot of great ones, but I honestly think number one, even over Cheech and Chong, is definitely Half-Baked. It was just such a classic, and I could still watch it to this day, and it's still, like, not looking old school to me. It's such a funny-ass movie. Gotta also mention How High. How High was so great. How did they not release a sequel to Redman and Method Man's How High? I mean, I don't understand what the hell happened with that. There was rumors they were going to come out with like a reboot of a Police Academy type of movie. For those that have no clue about Police Academy, the young bucks out there, watch Police Academy. It's a great old school classic. They had about 6 or 7 movies, and it was really funny, man. Really, really funny. I highly recommend watching Police Academy, but nothing happened after the first Redman and Method Man movie. It was a success. It's a cult classic, and it's definitely up there for a 420 movie also. It has to be mentioned. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of others, though. And we're going to end this podcast right here. I think we covered a lot of great topics. Thank you for tuning in. If you never picked up the Sneaker Addict t-shirt, make sure to check out prowrestlingtees.com/DJ Delz. Pick up the newest t-shirts. They ship worldwide. Fit true to size over at prowrestlingtees.com. If you know anyone that would enjoy this podcast, tell them about it. Tell them I really think you will love this podcast, and recommend it to people. A lot of people ask, how can I help you? That's how you can help me. Plus, watch the videos, and when you watch the videos, always thumbs up the video and share it. Share it even on your Facebook, man. Even some people think, I don't have a lot of people that follow me on social media, but you still have people that follow you, man. And, you know, if I can get another person to watch, that's important to me. The more people that check me out, the better. I hope everyone stays as a Patreon member, because I really have a lot of fun doing this. So thank you to everyone. If there's anything you want me to speak about next week, just make sure to stay tuned for that post. Leave your questions over on the next post. When I post that, you know, what do you guys want me to speak about next? And I try to post it on Monday or Tuesday. And if you miss out and you realize it's Wednesday, Thursday, come back. And never feel like you're leaving too many questions. Go ahead, leave topics. You know, I want to give you guys what you want to listen to, and the more interactive you are with me, the better the show is. So if you're listening right now and you're never interactive, just let me know you're listening, you know, by liking it and leaving a comment or something like that. You know, just let me know and give me feedback so I can keep you guys around and keep you entertained. I want to entertain you. I love to entertain. That's my whole thing. I've done it all my life, from DJing to doing the little acting shit and to doing the YouTube thing. It's just what I love to do. I love to have fun. Make you guys have fun too and laugh and, you know, be entertained.